Today's guest with me on Blackbird TV is Tom Netwick, and Tom is with Extrusion Supplies in Canfield, actually Youngstown area, Ohio. Thanks for joining me today, Tom.
Well, thanks for having me, David.
You had an interesting tidbit about Youngstown, Ohio. Why don't you share that with me again?
Well, a lot of people that aren't familiar with the industry don't realize that Youngstown is the birthplace of the soft alloy extrusion business in North America.
And that's what we're going to talk about today is a soft alloy extrusion. What is that?
There's soft alloy and hard alloy. The soft alloy business is generally focused on applications for building and construction, automotive, transportation, consumer durables, electrical. The hard alloy business is aircraft alloy, to kind of put it in a quick nutshell.
And your sweet spot is the soft alloys or both?
Soft.
All right. Okay. That's what I
do
thought.
A little bit in the hard, but not much.
All right. So we're going to talk about aluminum extrusions. Everyone has touched one at some point, probably far more often than they think. We're not going to get into that today. What I wanted to ask you particularly, this is December 2020. We're in the second wave of this pandemic, and industries are upside down some, and some are doing really, really well. What have you seen happen in the aluminum extrusion space, and has COVID impacted this in any way?
Well, initially, when COVID hit our industry, actually hit our world, March and April last year, everything slowed down, quite a bit. And then in May, it came out like gangbusters, and our industry has made up for lost time. And I've had many of my customers tell me they've never been as busy in their entire history as they have been this year.
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you have any idea? Is there anything you can point a finger or two at to come up with an answer as to why they're so busy now?
There's certain segments I can have had a dramatic increase in business. For instance, the RV business. People don't want to stay in hotels, so they're buying RVs and they're traveling instead of traveling by air, they're traveling by RV. So the RV industry has just gone gangbusters. Another segment of our business is building construction, and home sales, as most people know, we've been going through the roof this year, and remodeling and all that involves a lot of aluminum extrusion applications. So just those two segments alone, and automotive now. Automotive, I think, has rebounded nicely across most of America, and more aluminum extrusion has gone into the automotive industry in recent years.
What I'm finding in interviewing other experts in other industries, in a lot of cases, there was this complete shutdown of everything back in the late March and April timeframe where we tried to figure out how to deal with this. And that caused a big backlog, and people are just trying to catch up with that backlog in a lot of these industries. But what you're speaking about is more so an increase in demand that's a spin-off because of the pandemic. Really fascinating. So how does that impact equipment values, and how do these pieces trade? If I needed to get a used extrusion press right now, how would I go about doing that?
Well, in recent years, the extrusion business has been very healthy. Actually, since about 2011, when the Aluminum Extrusion Council was successful in suing for anti-dumping legislation against China. And once they were successful in that, then extrusion companies in North America became very healthy, and the equipment has been highly utilized. So since 2011, but particularly in the last 5 or 6 years, every available asset is being used, and there has been very little available good equipment on the used equipment market. So if you were looking for something, you're best to buy new.
Interesting. And the values on these, remember, the Blackbird customer typically is a bank or a bankruptcy trustee or a lender. And sometimes these presses are used as collateral on a loan. Oftentimes your clients are very big or publicly traded, so they may not be using commercial financing. But if these are used as collateral, or a single piece of equipment in a line is used as collateral, would you say that collateral value is held stable through the pandemic?
Absolutely. This equipment is being highly utilized, and it's very valuable to the the owner, and I would say therefore very valuable to the creditors.
You had indicated that used presses aren't even trading because of the supply and demand. And if you want a press, you have to get a new one. So from that, I can surmise if there was a used press that came on the market, it could be placed pretty quickly into somebody's hands, correct?
More than likely. If it's a good piece of equipment. If it's a very old piece of equipment, probably not, because the extruders out there that are healthy, they want better pieces of equipment going forward. And if they can't find a good used press, then they're buying new equipment.
Yeah, we're finding that a lot of machine tools and other things, controls and the economies of newer equipment with energy consumption certainly rule for replacements with new equipment in a lot of cases. So fascinating information, Tom. I appreciate your time today. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, David.